So did you see that Silent Hill 2 remake is finally coming? Like, it was announced it's coming. I think it's slated for October this year.
Yeah, yeah.
Is
I
that
saw the trailer.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I watched some of the trailer. I'm big on, if it's something I actually want to play, I don't want to watch any spoilers. Like, even if it's like, oh, it's a gameplay show off, like, I don't want to see it. I
Yeah.
don't want to see what they've changed. I wanted it to all be fresh.
Okay.
So I watched about 2 minutes of the announcement show off thing, and then I was like, okay, that's it. Like, because I actually want to play this game.
Okay, good. So you played the original?
No.
Okay, I haven't either.
No, I haven't, but that's why I'm so excited. Like, I think I'm more excited for remakes of stuff that I haven't actually played before. Okay. Like, TTYD is awesome. Thousand Year Door, that's fantastic. I played it. I know it's going to be good. I want to play the remake. Like, that's awesome. But when it's something like Silent Hill 2, I've gone down the deep rabbit hole of, like, retrospectives, every ending explained, why. Like, I've gone down the YouTube rabbit hole, probably 10 hours worth of content of just consuming. And that was a while ago now, but, you know, I was always infatuated or interested in the Silent Hill 2 story, the gameplay, the setting, all of that stuff. Silent Hill 1 and 2. And I just never went back to actually play it myself.
That's interesting. I'm curious what would have prompted that interest in it if you haven't played it.
It's just horror in general, I think.
Okay,
like,
you just
I am
like
a horror.
You like the horror vibe.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I don't necessarily watch horror movies, but I always enjoy, like, what was this horror movie about?
Yeah.
But I don't actually want to be scared with horror movies, if that makes sense.
You want to live vicariously.
Yes. Like, I want to know what they're all about and, like, what stories they're doing and stuff. Like, I'm always interested in the ideas and stuff, but, like, I don't want to actually live that. That's
that's too scary.
I could never actually.
Yeah, you know what? I played the PSVR demo of RE8, and I was like, oh my God, like, I can't take it. It's just too stressful. It's too stressful playing without the VR. Mm-hmm. But you know what? The gun mechanics in that game are so satisfying. Like, they put you in a training room before you actually play the demo.
Okay.
So you just get to experience, like, where the guns are located on your body, how to actually reload them and use them with the controllers. And it's amazing.
It sounds like a really cool VR.
It's really cool. And I'm like, oh, I want to play this. And I played the demo and I'm like, I do not want to play it.
But with the Silent Hill 2 remake, like, I will sit through it. I will play it because this is something where I want to actually, like, I want to have this experience in my life.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get in for that one. But what I did see with it is you're getting a standard edition and a deluxe edition. And at first I was like, oh my God, I'm excited. Like, you know, I don't buy a lot of deluxe collectors limited editions these days. I frankly don't. Yeah. But I saw the Silent Hill one. And again, I was like, man, I like the Silent Hill series. What's it have in it? And then I was immediately disappointed.
Okay.
You get a digital art book, a digital soundtrack, and an additional skin, like an in-game pyramid head mask skin piece. That's it. So it's only $10 more. You get nothing physical as far as I see. I don't even know if it has custom packaging. So as excited as I was, immediately that's a no.
Okay.
Like, I'm a no on that.
Yeah.
Digital is nothing. And that's going to be the big talk here is of today's episode 20, I believe. Greg's Weekend Rental. Welcome in, you guys.
Yeah.
And collector's editions, limited editions, deluxe editions, big loot box editions of games. What makes one good? What have you actually purchased for collector's editions? What would actually make you want to buy one? What are good bonuses, bad bonuses, all that type of stuff to do with collector's and limited edition games. And let's just start off with some of the earliest ones, I guess, that you can even think of or that you had in your life.
Right. You know what? There was one I was wondering about, and it was the Mario Lemieux with the hockey puck.
Oh, yeah, Sega Genesis.
Yeah. Was that actually a collector's edition, or was that just the game?
No, that was definitely either a limited or a collector or a deluxe. Like, that was something else because, that was limited. The big box is limited.
Gotcha.
As far as I know. Yeah. Because I'm pretty positive you could also just buy a standard copy.
Okay.
So Mario Lemieux Hockey on Genesis, I think Super Nintendo as well is what we're talking about here. But you could get a copy that has the game in a big oversized box, and you got a puck included. And that puck had, I think, 100 of them, maybe 1,000 of them, was actually signed by Mario Lemieux.
That's cool.
Cool item.
Yeah. That might be the earliest collector's edition that I can think of.
That the QVC Carnage box?
Yeah, that was 94.
That was 94 already, hey?
So Mario Lemieux was earlier?
I think so.
I think it is. Maybe we'll get bumped. Yeah. We'll get bumped in the comments.
It's hard because it's like NHL 93 or NHL Hockey, I guess, came out in 92. Yeah. Because NHL 94 came out in 93. Yeah, I think. Oh man, it's got to be somewhere. And I don't know if Lemieux came first or if we already had the NHL series.
Yeah, yeah. Because you know what, the The other interesting box release that I think about is the Carmen Sandiego.
Oh,
one.
that came with the dictionary or whatever.
Yeah.
See, I think that was standard
But
only,
yes,
though.
that's the difference. Is it was just a standard release, but it was different from I guess
if you want to
else.
go like we have Arkanoid on NES that came with the what's the controller called? It has
the
like
bundle,
it came with a controller. I think every single copy came with the game plus controller, and the controller has the two dongles to play Arkanoid.
Right, but that's just more. Was it more standard? No, there was an option to.
No, that was standard release only. Like Arkanoid never released in a normal box. Yeah. So there were some of those back in the day for sure, where they kind of forced you, I guess, to buy a deluxe edition. But that QVC one for Ultimate Carnage. Do you own
Maximum
that one?
Carnage?
Maximum Carnage.
Yeah.
Do you have that?
Yes. I actually have a prototype of the QVC set. So it's like
you went even further.
Yeah. So I know the creative directors of the game who worked with. They were on the Marvel side, and they did all the box art designs and all that, and then gave it to the artist to illustrate. So they were kind of responsible for all that. And I bought this QVC prototype set off the creative director.
So QVC, just being the shopping channel. What does QVC actually stand for? Do you even know? I can't think of it now.
That's a good question. Let's look it up later.
Yeah, we need that Joe Rogan fact checker. Like, can we get the guy on the computer?
Hey, whatever your name is, can you look that?
Yeah, can we get what's QVC stand for these days?
That'll happen once we're once we get some funding.
Big time.
We'll add a guy in the corner to look up stuff.
But the shopping channel had their own limited edition for
and there was
Carnage,
and there was lots of promo items. There was that limited pin set. I think they only made like 2,500 or 3,500 of them. But there's some sealed ones with the QVC sticker.
Okay.
The watch, the collectible.
This stuff didn't come in the collector's edition.
No, this was all separate stuff.
What came in the collector's edition?
So the actual collector's edition came with a 3-pin set of Spider-Man, Venom, and Carnage, and it came with an abridged version of the Maximum Carnage comic set. There's, I think, 14 issues in the set.
Okay.
But they sort of abridged it and put it into a little leather-bound book.
That's neat.
So that's in there, and then either a Genesis or a Super Nintendo copy came in that box, depending on what you want.
Yeah, big custom package box.
Yeah. And the boxes were universal between both because the box sizes are pretty much the same.
Yeah, I remember it was a big thing on Nintendo Age back in the day where it was like, oh, do you have a Genesis or a SNES one? And people did not know.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if there is any differentiator.
Well, you know what? The Game Doctor on Instagram, who's a big collector, he had one X-rayed, and it had the QVC sticker on it. So I have to remember this correctly. I know I have a picture saved of it, but I believe the one ending in 626 is the SNES version, and 627 is the Genesis version.
For UPC code?
Yeah, like for the QVC sticker on the front.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they had 2 different codes.
Jeez.
Yeah. So now we know which is which. Yeah, which is kind of cool.
Getting deep with it though. Like, you can't. Yeah, that's just what I remember in probably 2014. People like, I don't know which one I have. Like, it's a gamble. Open it.
That's right.
I'm not freaking opening it.
Yeah.
Do you know how much? Or sorry.
No, I was going to say in my prototype box, I just have a binding sample. I have the pins, but inside is a binding sample of the comic book without any comic inside. It's just the cover, the leatherette cover.
Yeah.
And then a prototype Super Nintendo box.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Well, which is like,
what's the prototype box look like? Blank on the back?
Yes, it's all black. The art on the front is not finalized in terms of like the rating, and there's no thumbnails of Spider-Man and Venom, or they're different or something like that. Yeah, so it's slightly different.
Do you remember how much that retailed for, the QVC set?
That's a good question. I don't actually know.
I would like to know the premium they were asking.
Yeah.
Because when we go down to this deluxe collector's edition things here, what you get in it, what it includes, price point is so important.
Yeah.
Even with this deluxe Silent Hill 2, right? I said I would never buy it. It's just a bunch of digital stuff. But in fairness to them, it's only a $10 premium. So, 69 regular, 79 deluxe, you're going to give me digital art book, soundtrack, whatever, right? Some skins for the game. 48-hour access, I think you get. If all you want is another $10, I don't feel like you are... Exploiting sounds too hard of a word, but I don't feel like you're really taking advantage of your fan base at a $10 premium just to get some extra junk.
Yeah.
It feels fine to me. 48-hour access, whatever. That's going to be worth $10 for some people alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't hate that whatsoever. I assume that XQC is what I was going to say. QVC Carnage bundle had a $10, $20, $30 premium on it,
sure
I would assume.
Yeah, I'm sure it did, because it's pretty big. Like, it's a big box.
It's fully custom done. It just has to have some premium attached.
And I wonder if that's actually like the first game to actually have sort of a designated like collector's edition, because like before then were they really game collectors?
I know it wasn't a thing. Like,
it's associated with comic book people, so their comic collecting was, obviously 50 years old at that point, pretty much. So having a collector's edition that caters to comic people makes sense. But for maybe gamers, it was kind of a very new concept.
I know some of like stuff on Sega Saturn and stuff would have different discs. You'd have different disc art. Collect them all. I don't know if it was pushed though, but some games would have different disc art. Just something neat.
Yeah, that's
that they were
cool.
doing. But again, I don't think it was like pushed as in collect all 4 discs. Like,
yeah,
you don't have to. You don't. It's the same game.
Yeah, buy another $80 game.
Yeah, exactly right. You just can't do that.
Yeah.
But the first one that I can even think of knowing or being aware of when I was younger, Ocarina of Time Gold Card. Yes. That was the first collector's edition, quote unquote, that I even knew existed. And all it is a gold cartridge. I guess a custom plate on the box, custom packaging, gold cartridge.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any premium though. I'm pretty positive that was the exact same price you just had to pre-order.
Yeah, exactly. You just had to be the first people to buy it.
Yeah, which is like, that is the ultimate. That is the penultimate. You are literally, and I think that's just a change in how the industry is now. But you were honestly rewarded or thanked for being an early consumer on that game.
Which
like,
makes
that was
sense.
Nintendo giving, right? Doesn't it?
It's like, thank you. Here you go.
You pre-ordered our game. Like, that's awesome. Thank you.
We're going to give you a special shiny.
We're going to say thank you back by literally, right? Like, that costs probably very, very, very little to produce the separate. Yeah. Like, it's just a gold plating and a different.
They would just have to literally print I think it's literally just a sticker on the
it
front.
Is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So literally nothing. I think you might have also got a bag, some stickers, because there's like a...
Yeah, and I'm sure to have all that.
Oh, okay, yeah, there you go. So you are very aware.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I think even thinking before Ocarina, in terms of big boxes, there was a Batman Forever special edition for Woolworths in Europe.
What?
Yeah, this is a super...
You're digging deep here.
This is a super rare item. I've never seen... I've seen photos of one, but I don't know anyone who has one.
Batman Forever on Super Nintendo?
Yes. Yeah, so they had a special... It was like a QVC set. It was like a big flat box, and it was specific to Woolworths in Europe.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool thing.
I'm going to have to Google that afterwards.
Yeah.
Because like once you get into Europe and PAL and stuff, my knowledge drops off a cliff. So.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a big black box with a green Riddler question mark on it.
Sounds great.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
What kind of price tag? You saying it was extremely rare. Like, do you have any kind of gauge?
I would say it would easily be worth a few grand or more.
Gosh. Yeah, okay. So you're like really up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, really up there. My God, even that QVC set isn't that expensive to get a CIB set of that for maximum carnage.
It's not terrible. You'd probably, with a nice box copy, you'd be looking at $2,000 maybe.
Yeah, I guess that is more than I was thinking. In my head, it was still like $700 for CIB.
Oh no,
I guess it's gone up.
Oh no.
Okay, all right.
No. We're way past that point.
Yeah,
I sold my box alone for way more than that.
Really?
Yeah,
oh my gosh. Well, I guess I'll never own one.
I had a couple copies of them, so I just kept the prototype.
Yeah. Fair enough. Wow. So with that, N64, the first I didn't own a gold cartridge. I was like a legend.
Yeah.
I had heard about it.
I didn't even know about it, actually.
Okay, yeah. It was like, oh my God, they made because then when Donkey Kong 64 obviously is the most fake collector's edition that's ever existed. It says on the front of the box, I think like collector's edition yellow cartridge or something.
Right.
Every freaking card is yellow. That should be like suable. That should
marketing.
be an offense. Yeah, literally, right? Like you can't just call it the collector's edition yellow cartridge if there isn't a standard one.
Yeah.
So, but we did buy that as a kid, and it came with the expansion pack. Cool, but again, you can't even call it a collector's edition. It's the standard edition of DK64.
Yeah, absolutely. And was it Australia that had a special Ocarina of Time? Or is it Majora's Mask that had a big green collector's box that's super rare?
Europe. That got the adventure set for Majora's.
Okay.
Limited to 1,000 pieces? 3,000 pieces?
Yeah, that's a
I want one at some point. But right now I'm settling for our North American collector's edition, which has a holographic label on it.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Like that's the only difference between Majora's Mask collector's edition and standard is like every cartridge is gold. That also used to be a big thing in collecting where people were like, oh my God, you have the rare gold cartridge Majora's. Every Majora's is gold.
Except for the not for resale.
Yeah, except for my little $8,000 trinket right there.
Yeah,
now it's worth like half, but let's not talk about that too much. Yeah, just the cartridge, holographic label, non-holographic, and that's literally it. Yeah. And frankly, you see less of the non-holographic, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It gets harder to find the standard edition Majoras.
Yeah. And now did the standard versus collector's Majora, did the standard version come with the expansion pack as well?
Nope.
Or was it just the collector's edition?
Neither.
Neither came with it?
Majora's did not include an expansion pack.
Okay,
Nope.
then what
By
did...
then you had to already have bought DK, or you're just
I guess
you're
so.
SOL.
Or you
like-
just buy it separately.
yeah,
Yeah,
you had to at that point.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Gotcha. Okay, I was
But-
misremembering that. I thought like the... What was it?
I'm pretty
Perfect Dark?
positive the JP one includes a expansion pack, if that's worth anything to you.
Okay,
But,
yeah, makes sense.
you
know,
will
it-
accept that consolation?
It's funny because that expansion pack, I remember renting Perfect Dark once, and we didn't have the expansion pack, so we played it, and we had played it before with.
What can you do? Like access missions and stuff without the
Oh,
expansion
like
pack?
it's bare bones.
yeah, I know
If
you can do something.
You can barely run that game without the expansion pack. I'm like, this is awful. We literally took it back to the store. We're like, we can't play this.
yeah. I knew you could do something because I think Majora's hits you right at the spawn of like, or the spawn at the, as soon as the screen opens up, it's like, you need expansion pack. Like,
Yeah.
we're not even letting you.
No.
Same with DK. Like, you need expansion pack.
Yeah, you're not even gonna get to play.
Yeah, there's
this.
nothing. You can watch like the opening cutscene maybe, and that's it.
Yeah,
So
that's
at least
right.
Perfect Dark gave you gameplay.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
kudos
true.
to them.
They tried.
They did try
They
a
tried.
bit.
Yeah.
And PS1, I remember at that time, do you remember those 3-packs that you used to be able to buy for PS1 collector's editions? It'd be like Spyro
Yes.
collector's editions, and you get Spyro 1, 2, 3.
Yes, I
in
remember
a
that for
big
Tomb
box.
Raider. Yeah.
Yeah, Tomb Raider collector's editions. And they, it's funny they called them collector's editions. Again, this is still, we're
They're
just
really just bundles.
really figuring out what we're doing here in the
Yeah.
industry.
Yeah,
You know?
what are we doing? We're not even. We're just giving you more games.
Yeah, we're like, I think at that point, Greatest Hits was already released.
Yeah.
So you get the 3-pack, and they all say like collector's edition on the banner or on the side or whatever instead of normal copies. But yeah, it was just a reprint 3-pack.
Yeah.
They're calling a collector.
Yeah.
It's
Kind of mixed messaging there a little bit.
100%,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But I do remember those as well. But I mean, we're just skipping over the PS2 generation. I know they started to put out collector's editions in there. I don't know if you remember one that always stuck out to me is the Bully collector's edition.
Yeah.
It came in like a big locker box, and inside you got a dodgeball. That was it's just cool.
That's cool.
It's very unique. It's an actual hard rubber dodgeball. Like it's that kind where when you were in gym class, like you could not get hit by this one. It wasn't the soft foam. Like this was the one that you could whip.
Right.
The baseball kid could like whip it across the
and
gym.
like really hurt you.
Yeah, so you just like take someone out.
Yeah.
Like, so you get that kind of ball included. Very cool item.
That's cool.
I'm all for we'll talk about that more as we go, but so I really collector's editions came to a headway in that Xbox 360 generation.
Yeah.
The Xbox 360, PS3, Nintendo Wii wasn't really big on it, to be honest, but 360, man, PS3, it felt like every single game in that generation was giving you something,
Mhm.
something more. Deluxe edition, limited, collectors, just anything.
Yeah.
Games that didn't like the Lost Planet had a steel book with lithograms. Oh my, the frickin' lithograms, man. I feel like everything was given out one of those too. Just like a
Oh.
little picture inside of your
Lithograph. Yeah.
You're the art guy, not
Yeah.
me. I should be letting you talk about those.
Yes, you know what? Because I still have my Star Wars Episode 3 lithograph that was special with the game.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Every game had one.
Every game had one, yeah.
So I remember just like Lost Planet had a collector's edition. The Perfect Dark had one. Viva Pinata had a collector's edition.
Yes.
And these are simple ones.
Yeah.
Just steelbook, maybe extra 10 or 20 bucks at release. But these are the most bare bones kind of collector's editions, in my opinion. You get your steelbook, sometimes an art book, sometimes a soundtrack, and that's it.
Like Halo 2.
Yeah, Halo 2. Yeah, very, very, that's the most bare bones, basic collector's edition.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I actually kind of like those.
I like having them in terms of like shelf display because they're not intrusive.
Exactly. You can have it. You can actually own it.
Yeah, it doesn't take up an entire
And again,
shelf.
it's price point thing. If you're paying only an extra $10 for the Halo 2 collector's edition or whatever, it's like, oh, cool. I have a steel tin. I got a little art book, some trinkets, you know?
Yeah.
Not even trinkets, really. Just literally a steel book.
Yeah.
'Cause-
And you know what? Now that I think about what one of my favorite collector's editions was, I think it's Oblivion on Xbox 360.
What did that come with? That was a pretty small one, too. Pretty low
Yeah,
key.
but it was great because it came with a coin, a septum. Is that what it's called? I forget. But it came with a coin with the Emperor's head on it.
Okay.
So it's a really cool coin print. It came with some kind of journal, or it was like a storybook, like of the world and the lore.
Okay.
So that specifically, I'm always a sucker if there's like a cool art book or if there's a cool story element to the collector's edition. Because you know what I really liked growing up was looking at my Super Nintendo manuals.
Yeah, me too.
Like Mortal Kombat manual had some of the comic book stuff inside it. The A Link to the Past manual had a lot of the artwork and comic book stuff from the Japanese comic inside it, and those were just amazing to read. So like anytime a modern collector's edition actually has like a story element to it, or a mini comic inside it, I think that's really
That's
cool.
something that actually moves it for you.
Yeah.
I wrote down a bunch of things here, like when we talk about collector's edition, right?
Yeah. So what makes a good collector's edition? That's the question.
Here's a lot of the junk, quote unquote, that you can have included. This seems standard. Like these are your standard things here. So art books, behind the scenes DVDs, soundtracks, pins, stickers, playing cards, posters, coins. You're a big coin guy apparently. You're liking getting your custom coins.
Fable 3 had a good coin.
I know. And playing cards.
Yes.
I think in Fable 3.
I still have both.
Steel books, reversible cover arts, and custom packaging. I think that's basically all of the physical stuff that could be included. And then usually you're going to get some DLC, skins, add-ons. You might get additional maps. There's 48-hour access. Non-tangibles, non-physicals. So with that, coins. Is that like, I think that's junk personally. Like,
Okay.
you get a coin in a collector's edition. It comes down to that thing where I get that a collector's edition at the end of the day, or what most of them are, is you're going to get a bunch of crap inside.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, it's going to be crap.
Yeah.
The small additional stuff has always just felt like fluff to me. Where it's like, even when they get into a bigger collector's edition, and it's like, oh my god, we're gonna give you the little picture and the stickers and a coin, and you get a deck of playing cards, and it's all $40 more than. It's just like, what? What am I don't want any of this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What am I, where am I supposed to keep this? What am I supposed to do with this stuff?
Yeah, it's not useful.
It's the stuff that you look at once. It's like, oh, even your Emperor coin that you said, Z, it's like, oh, wow, like that's the Emperor, all right. And then you put the coin back in the box so you don't lose it.
Yeah.
Because you're going to literally lose it.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I like about it is it's actually like a piece of currency from the game, whereas the Fable one is just kind of like a red and blue sided coin.
Yeah,
It doesn't really have anything to do with the game, but besides the alignment system. But I like that you actually just get a piece of currency from Elder Scrolls. I thought that was really cool.
No, it is, and that's a big thing that moves the needle for me. As I get older, I guess, I kind of get away from these big ones. Like I said with the Xbox 360 era, that's when we first started seeing these statues too.
Yes.
The statue collector's edition. Oh, I dread it, man. Yeah. Like that is a spot of dread for me. Yeah. And I'll admit, like I bought the Halo Reach one. I own the Skyrim one. Because at the time when I was 16, maybe 17, maybe 18, it was like, oh, that's sick. Like, I'm such a big gamer. I'm such a big collector. Like, I need my legendary edition of Halo Reach. And, you get your big UNSC statue of all the team, noble team. And they're beautiful statues. A lot of them. Some suck. Like, when I was Googling through, just doing a little bit of looking, one that always came up was Dead Island Riptide. I guess you get the bust of a woman, but it's like, zombies ate her, so she's like missing the head, missing arms. It's like, it's pretty violent, but it's just like a bust of a dead woman.
Yeah.
And that always came up as like, who wants this? Who's displaying this? What do you do with this?
And there was another one with, was it Fear 3? That had like a statue of like a naked
pregnant woman.
Yeah. So it's like, who wants this? Who wants this? I mean, don't get me wrong, it's beautiful and all that, but
like I said, most statues are nice. You do get ones where it's like, it's such a hard thing because I'm also fully okay with them going in deep for the game. Yeah. Like I would rather Dead Island Riptide give you that, or Fear give you something just super weird, than them just being like, oh, here's your main character with a gun in his hand. Mm-hmm. I don't want that either from Fear.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know who the hell's buying a Fear 3 collector's edition. That's that thing, man, of every, like Dead Island Riptide 2. It just didn't need one. Yeah. Like this was the era of every single game getting one, but
yeah, just a money grab. Yeah.
What actually makes one good for you when you're like, man, I might actually buy that? What?
Yeah. Well, I think the minimum bar is some kind of effort.
You have to actually see it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I like we were just talking about the Oblivion one, because they actually had to have someone go and make that book. Someone actually had to sit there and write that lore book. So there's like actual kind of effort and stuff you could learn about within the game when you get that collector's edition. So really fun to read. I honestly didn't mind the Link's Awakening Dreamer edition. The art book is beautiful. It's in a nice small box, not too big.
Yeah, Dreamer edition is kind of big, isn't it? How big is that?
It's not
Is it
massive.
smaller than Dread? Do you know the Dread special edition?
I think so.
Smaller than Dread? Okay.
I'm sure it's smaller, especially than the Xenoblade 2.
The Tears one? How big is Tears compared to?
I feel like the Dreamer Edition's more skinny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't get that one myself, but
I don't own it myself either, but I thought it was really cool.
yeah, it's just more of a basic one.
Mhm.
And that's where I'm at, where I don't really want a 149.99 edition,
No.
a 179.99 edition.
Yeah.
And the thing with all those statue editions that come out is, okay, maybe one or two truly you buy it for the best game ever, the game you like really love, and the issue is we're going to keep playing video games. You're going to keep buying video games. If you are, I already have the Halo Reach statue. I don't even display that because, like, where am I putting it? But I already own that one. If I already had the Halo Reach statue and I have the Alduin statue from Skyrim, that's 2013. That's 11 years ago. That's 11 years worth more of gaming now. Where what? I'm just supposed to keep buying these one for it just like I don't want that. I literally don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
I want copies now. Like for me, as I get older, I'm 30 right now. I want a steelbook. I want custom packaging. Doesn't have to be a steelbook, but like effort put into custom packaging that I can be happy displaying. An art book. If it's a game that warrants one, there's some games where it's just like I don't need an art book.
No, if it's like an RPG adventure, I feel like there's lots of lore and
exactly.
stuff.
Like that's a good one that needs a compendium or an art book or something that adds on to the story, like you were saying, adds lore, adds actual interest and intrigue, and maybe a soundtrack. I'll be honest, I've never listened to a single video game soundtrack ever.
I love video game soundtracks. Oh
yeah,
my God. Yeah. I have a lovely playlist on my phone of like the best video game music.
All right.
I love it. I love it.
So
when
you get one included, that's like an actual
That's
needle
literally
mover?
the only reason I bought the Xenoblade 2 Collector's Edition was to get the soundtrack. And also, you know what? Ni no Kuni on PS3 had a great Collector's Edition.
The Wizard Edition? White Wizard Edition?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that one's expensive. That's like a rare Collector's Edition.
Yeah, it's really cool too. It's you know, it came with a wizard's book, which is in the game. Like it's your entire compendium of all the familiars and all the spells and all that kind of stuff, but they actually produced like a physical book for it. Yeah. And that book on its own is like $150, $200 just to buy. It's really difficult to find an English one. There's lots of Japanese ones out there, but really difficult. And I think it came with like a plushie. Or,
You're the only person I know. Yeah, you get a plushie of Hobbs. What the hell's his name now? I can't hear it. Drippy? Drizzy?
Drippy, Mr. Drippy.
Yeah, you get his plush.
Yeah. But it also came with a soundtrack, which is Joe Hisaishi, who did all the Studio Ghibli movies. Wow. And it is one of the most incredible game soundtracks of all time. It's incredible. So I had to get the soundtrack. I actually had to buy it digitally because I didn't want to. I missed the boat on the collector's edition of the game.
I didn't even know it got a collector's edition when it came out. Like I bought Ni no Kunai like pretty early because I'm into that genre and stuff.
Yeah,
I didn't even know the Wizard edition existed.
No, and I was literally just attracted to it because Studio Ghibli did the cutscenes.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's what like caught my attention first, and it was JRPG. It's like it was just a genre I love.
Yeah,
and I almost platinumed the game. I just stopped at some grinding stuff. I was like, I don't care.
Yeah,
but I did the secret boss, did the whole game. Like it was great.
Yeah. Did you play the second one?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I'm like positive I did, but I don't have nearly as much recollection of it.
You know what? I bought a collector's edition of it again just to get what I later discovered. I thought it was going to be the full soundtrack. It was a limited soundtrack. It's only like 5 tracks on it. I'm like, why? That's not fair.
Why?
That was stupid.
Why would they limit it?
So I sold it, and I still haven't played the game.
I
still have
that's salty.
Well, you know what? I just never got around to it. It's one of those games I bought, I intended on playing, and it's still sitting sealed on my shelf.
I don't think it's gone up in value either.
No,
like, I'm pretty sure
you can get it free. I think on PS Plus or whatever.
Just like a very worthless game for you to just happen to have kept sealed.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes that works out.
Why couldn't it have been a Mario or something?
Just something where it's like, oh man, it went doubled in price.
Yeah,
Kunai like went down, did nothing but go down in price pretty much since it launched.
Yeah,
I'm positive I played number 2 though.
Yeah, but you know what? I know someone who has a sealed collector's edition for the PS3 one, and I've been tempted to try and buy it. Yeah, just because
it's out of his hands.
Such a great game, and yeah.
And with that soundtrack thing there that you were saying, I don't understand why, especially if you're getting like a digital soundtrack, why is it lazy? That is the worst possible thing that can exist. Is like you're not even getting. I don't know if was Ni no Kunai 2 physical or digital on the soundtrack. If it's 5 songs, I assume it's digital.
Ni no Kuni was physical. It was a CD.
Number 2. Okay. It was 5 songs on a CD.
Yeah, it was like
that's even worse.
It was like a sample soundtrack. I'm like, what is this? Like, why?
It just feels lazy as heck. Though. I've burned CDs. I know how easy it is to just put more songs on.
Yeah. You know what? I hate the digital soundtracks too because like, where do I play it?
I already said I'm never gonna play a.
PlayStation Network. Like, who does that?
Yeah, that's I think it was Xenoblade Chronicles X on Wii U. You got a USB that you have to plug in for the digital soundtrack, and it was like 10 songs from the game. Which again, like, it's a digital, like, but just load it. I think the USB itself is only 800 megabytes capacity, so it's not even that usable as an like a.
Is it even a cool drive?
It is. It
Okay.
is. It's at least custom and it
It's
lights
like
up
the
when you
finger
stick it
drive
in.
for Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, like a cool custom drive.
Yeah.
But it's like, ah, my gosh, just do it fully.
Yeah.
Is what I would say.
Yeah.
Do it fully. And I think the worst examples possible. Let's talk about some of the worst ones here, and then we'll talk about like the best ones you can think of in recent memory. But just for worst ones, I'll just start off here with a kind of an all capturing. Any collector's edition or big edition that doesn't include the game inside. Even digital. Like if you do not get a copy of the game, I think it's some
just
examples.
a loot box.
Yeah, like Red Dead Redemption 2 has a big collector's box, they called it. Or Mass Effect Andromeda had one. State of Decay 2. These big editions where it's like $179.99, get the statue, and no game.
No game.
I'm like, maybe it shouldn't matter to me, but as you said, it just becomes a big loot box. It is junk. Like it is junk to me.
Yeah.
You put a digital voucher in there and at least I can call it game collecting.
Yeah.
But you get rid of that, like I'm just junk collecting.
Yeah. Then it's
maybe that's a hot take. I don't know. It just feels like the biggest slap in the face as a gamer, game collector being marketed to gamers to not include your game.
Yeah.
In the
collector's edition, like that seems like a bare minimum to me. I wouldn't even consider it because, like, you think about that 150 to 180 for a collector's box, and then another $80 on top of that for the game.
Yeah.
You're paying like you can almost buy a freaking console for that.
Yeah.
And you get like a box of junk that no one wants and is not going to have any value.
Get your cool statue.
You know what? I love the Resident Evil remakes, like with 2 and 3, 2 more.
Are you going to give this an example as the bad one here?
Sort of.
All right.
Like, I want to like it because I love Resident Evil 2. And actually, one of the most recent games I bought was a sealed deluxe edition, like the more rare version.
Yeah,
PlayStation.
Yeah. I saw that's expensive. What's it come with? I think a little segue here.
It came with you were able to swap soundtracks in the game, so it was all digital stuff basically. Okay. It was like one of those ones that was only like a few dollars more than the regular one.
It's just a sticker on the label, right? Like
I think so.
Yeah. Okay,
okay. And it's very limited compared to
the
regular.
Saw its price was just like, what? Huh?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was so expensive.
I bid on an auction for a 9.88 plus and ended up winning it. I was like, okay, I love this game. And
all right.
Great. You know, it's basically market what I paid, like basically auction market. So it's fine. But I love the fact that you could swap soundtracks in the game. You could put the original soundtrack in over the new one.
Yeah, cool thing.
Yeah, which is great. Like that kind of content seems really interesting to me.
Oh, the collector's edition you were talking about.
Yeah, so
the big one.
Yeah, it's way too big. First of all, is the problem. You know, the statue is nice. It's one of the nicer ones of Leon in that one, but you know, I don't need that. I don't need it on my shelf. There's really nothing that incentivized me to buy it. And it's funny because I bought one when EV Games dropped the price because no one was buying them. And
that's all I remember about those big ones.
And I just resold it because I was like, what am I? I literally had no shelf space for it. And that was when I was, you know, living in Winnipeg and had a big collecting room. And I was like, I just have no space for this. What am I going to do with it?
No, that's like I said with a lot of these big ones is all I remember is going into EB Games and you'd look at the very top shelf and it'd be like the biggest boxes possible for these games and they're all marked down.
Yeah.
Because
no one wants
you can't do it.
It's like the Mortal Kombat Collector's Edition. That's a terrible one too with the giant scorpion head mask.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Like,
no,
you know,
funny. I haven't written down. I have Mortal Kombat Collector's Edition I wanted to talk about afterwards, but a different one. But they're all called Mortal Kombat, which is the issue.
Yeah. That's right. Which one is which again? I lost track.
Yeah,
that's the tough one. Yeah.
With other bad ones, I mean, one of the most infamous ones, I'm sure you remember this, that happened with Fallout 76.
Yes,
the collector's
with the
edition.
bag.
Yes. So there's also that realm of literal false advertising, where these collector's editions are were making so many promises, and we're going to give you all this stuff, this cool stuff. In Fallout 76, if you guys haven't heard about it, they were going to give you like this really nice looking canvas bag. It looked quality, it looked nice. And when they finally actually shipped out the collector's editions, what they actually gave you was like nylon, cheap polyester garbage. Like you got garbage, a bag that you could, the type of bag material that you would be thrown in free. It's like a drawstring bag type of garbage. And it was so egregious that they actually caught backlash for it, and they actually set up a website to be like, hey, if you bought our Fallout 76 edition, or whatever the hell it was called, loot bog, I don't know. But if you actually bought it, you can redeem and we'll send you something that isn't crap.
And what did they send? Do you know?
They got a bag. Like
Okay.
something a lot more close to the original advertised canvas bag.
Okay.
They actually sent them out.
Yeah.
But the website apparently also had like security issues, and they leaked everyone's emails and stuff who entered in to get that. So, insult to injury on that.
We're Bethesda. We, you know, we just do
the most Bethesda thing, right?
Yeah, honestly, Fallout 76, I think, was the start of the downfall of Bethesda. You know, when you look at it.
I know. It's right on that line there, and it's like,
That's really tough.
And collector's editions too, the Fable 2. I don't know if you know this is Xbox 360 collecting. The original Fable 2 collector's edition. Are you familiar?
Maybe I was down like back then, but not now.
So it was going to come with a figurine in it, actually.
Okay.
And it was basically done. Like some prototypes were already sent out. I think there's 3 factory sealed ones known to exist. So like it was done production. You were supposed to actually get I think it was a figurine included with Fable 2.
Okay. But
due to supply issues or something, they canceled it last minute. They pulled the figurine. And if you're familiar with Fable 2 Collector's Edition, all it really is like a very small box now. I think it's a steelbook inside and an art book, and you know what I mean. It might even just be standard case art book, actually. It might not even be a steelbook. But it was stripped right down. I think they took $10 off the price and just like shipped that out instead. And everyone hated that too. That's going all the way back to like 2008 though, I think.
Yeah.
With the false advertisement there. But you're supposed to get something cool. Yeah. And now the original, if you actually, like I said, there's very, very few of them floating around. But that original is like an insane Xbox 360 collector's item now.
Wow. That's cool. Yeah, honestly, I don't think I've ever seen one.
Yeah, there's something for you to Google after we're done talking here. The original Fable 2 Collector's Edition. Nice. There's like it pops up in Facebook groups and stuff every now and then. Someone showing off their grail.
Yeah,
but you know, it's deep collecting.
That's
deep
cool.
Collecting.
Yeah.
A bad example. What do you got?
Oh well, I was thinking about the Fallout 76.
Yeah.
one,
Okay.
You know.
I took your example.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's the one when I think of like the worst fiascos to happen with collector's editions.
I think it is.
That's the one in my memory for sure. Because I just remember all the press blowback about it.
Oh yeah, like you said, started downfall of Bethesda. Yeah. I'll shoot again here on Tears of the Kingdom then, which maybe it's a hot take, but the Tears of the Kingdom collector's edition that came out to like 6 months ago now, it is crap. That is absolute crap for a collector's edition. And it's not even that the stuff included is bad. It retailed for $139.99. That is 70. I think 70. I think the Tears of the Kingdom was the first Switch game to be $69.99 if I remember correctly. So we're talking $70 over retail, and you get a freaking pin set, a poster, an art book, and custom packaging.
Right. Which does not warrant $70.
That is the default crap that I was talking about that comes in every single collector's edition. And insult to injury here, when I was Googling for this to actually like remember stuff, Breath of the Wild Master Edition, which came with, you get that carrying case and you get the replica swords statue in there.
Yeah.
I think it also had like a steelbook and art as well, but that was $139.99 as well for the full-on replica statue. You know how big the Master Edition box is.
Oh, yeah.
It's massive.
Yeah.
At least at $139, I can be like, okay, you get stuff that I expect in a $139 edition. Right. I expect a statue if I'm paying one for. I don't want it. Yeah. But I expect it.
But you expect it.
But I expect it.
Yeah.
The Tears one is just a joke, man. Yeah. Like that was actually one of the worst I think Nintendo has ever put out value in terms of collector's edition.
Yeah, I think so. You know what? The box, like as a collector, I like the way the collector's box looks itself.
It's nice.
Like it's nice. It sits on a shelf nice, not too big. But yeah, absolutely. For that amount of money.
It's the price point.
Yeah. If it was like
$99.99.
Yeah, $15 to $20 more. Yep. That'd be like, okay, I could see that.
And honestly, that's what I expect from Nintendo. Mm-hmm. I think the Smash Bros. Controller bundle was like $30 more. You get an actual the
and considering how expensive the controller is on its own,
exactly,
that's a great deal.
I'm pretty sure it was $99.99 Smash Ultimate with the controller.
Yeah.
The Skyward Sword on Wii. That was $20 more. You get the gold Wiimote included in the big box. That was only $20, man.
Yes, I remember fondly that one because of the soundtrack. It came with.
You bet it did.
It came. Okay, so everyone knows everyone probably knows I'm a musician. That one.
I don't think anyone knows.
Maybe I don't know.
I don't know if we've ever talked about that.
Anyone in our collecting circle
you're the
that
big
knows
art
us.
collector guy.
Yeah.
I'm the oaf over here, the tank top.
Moonlight games.
You got the guy who knows what a lithograph is.
Okay, so the Skyward Sword Collector's Edition came with a CD with a brand new recording of Zelda medleys recorded with a live orchestra. It was amazing. I loved it. And the gold Wiimote. That's like the perfect collector's edition.
That's what I was gonna say, is that if you get something actually usable, just something you are going to utilize,
yeah,
it is like basically the best thing you can include.
Yeah,
a custom controller, that's about it. What else? A steelbook. You can use a steelbook to at least store your game, like custom packaging. But getting something you're actually going to utilize just puts it over.
Yeah.
Speaking of Tears of the Kingdom again, because the stupidity actually was more. I saw what the Japan one includes. Do you know about the Japan?
No, tell me.
You get a fork and spoon engraved with the word Legend of Zelda on them. A fork and a spoon.
Not even chopsticks?
I just don't get it, man.
That's weird.
I am gonna die on the hill of that is one of the worst collector's editions, both the American and US ones that Nintendo has ever put out for the price point and what's included. And I am shocked. Maybe I just missed it, but
the Japanese one is the same price differential?
I'm pretty positive. Okay. I didn't look at that, but I'm assuming so.
Right.
The fork and spoon are expensive, man. That's metal. That's high quality tungsten.
Yeah, tungsten.
Only the finest.
Only the finest for your tongue.
Yeah, it just
tungsten for your tongue.
Makes no sense to me. And like I said, maybe I missed it when it was happening. Maybe there was backlash. But I mean, oh man, I'm ripping on it. I bought one.
You are part of the problem. You are the problem.
I'm a dirty reseller, speculator, and I was like, I better buy one in case it goes up.
Yeah.
I think it has. So who's laughing now?
No,
who's laughing now? Nintendo, I bought your stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's maybe there was more blowback at the time, and I missed it. But it should have blowback. People should be attacking Nintendo about this collector's edition because it is awful value.
Yeah, yeah.
But swapping over with usable stuff, good examples. What are some of your favorite collector's editions ever that you have purchased that you see? What gets you? I had Skyward Sword on my list there with the gold Wiimote.
Yeah.
We covered that early, but that is genuinely
one of
the best.
One of my favorites. I actually have a sealed copy of it.
I bought multiple at release. Best Buy crushed them all. So I ended up just selling them. I kept one obviously for usage and stuff, and then they were crushed. I'm picky. I'm a picky collector. Sold them off.
Yeah, just ask that they're not crushed.
I just want Best Buy to ship it in a box that fit them.
Amazon
they had two or three, and they literally pushed them into the box.
Yeah,
Amazon
to make it work. Does that too. Yeah, it's just
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, with Amiibos, they just freaking fold the thing down. We'll just there we go. Yeah, just get that
Tetris
in there for
it
you.
in and
oh great, thanks.
You have to untransformer it when it comes. Yeah, for sure. The Skyward Sword Collector's Edition is great. Oblivion, I think, is one of my favorite collector's editions because of that novel book inside. That's really great. I mean, obviously, I would have to say Maximum Carnage is the greatest because I collect Maximum Carnage stuff.
That's the stuff you buy?
Yeah, that's the stuff I buy.
Have you bought a collector's edition anytime recently? You just gave me a bunch of old examples again.
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah. Have I
what has piqued your interest at least?
Have I bought a single collector's edition since Skyward Sword? You know what? I bought a sealed Breath of the Wild special edition. Not the master, but the one down special. I think it's called special edition.
Yeah.
So I bought one of those sealed.
Did you crack it open?
No, I just left it because I found it locally. Someone was selling it just cheap, and I was like, yeah, okay, it's perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, and I have all the Amiibo set and everything for Breath of the Wild. This is the only stuff I really kept from all the tchotchke stuff.
No, I don't even have Breath of the Wild Amiibos. I just looked at my 3 Amiibos over there. We got Majora's Mask, Sephiroth, and Banjo. Yeah. Perfect trio.
Yeah, perfect trio.
Yeah, they all fit well together over there.
Those guys all belong in a team.
Yeah. It's like that categories game. Put these characters together. Oh yeah, that's perfect. You don't see the link between them? What do you mean?
Yeah. You know what? I did buy the special sets for Witcher 3.
Okay.
The expansions.
Yep.
So when they released the 2 expansions, they came with their own special collector's boxes. Again, it's one of those things that didn't include the game itself, but it came with the a code for the expansion.
But at least you got the
Yeah, you got the code.
yeah. I'm okay. Like if it's not a disc, it had better include a voucher.
Yeah.
I just want.
Yeah, but you know what it came with, which was really cool, was the Gwent cards.
Oh, that's neat.
It came with a real life set of Gwent cards, which is really cool. So the first expansion came with Timurian Kingdom and Monsters or something, and then the other one came with the other two sets. So I thought that was really cool because you could actually like play Gwent in real life if you wanted to.
Yep.
Like that to me is the perfect.
It's a perfect thing that you might actually utilize to a degree.
Yeah.
I know I was ripping on playing cards later, but you might actually use a playing card set too. Like you can at least do something with it.
And you know, Witcher 3 had the most amazing Gwent quest line. You know, you could like collect these cards and find all the rare cards and compete in tournament and that kind of stuff. And yeah, I thought it was really brilliant.
Yeah, getting physical usable cards is great because I actually passively collect the triple triad cards from Final Fantasy VIII.
Okay.
Like there's even a little pile there behind you of some of the like I'm a big card collector too, so it's like in-game trading cards. If there is that to include in a special edition, include it. Of course, include it. Give me some of the cards. Give me like, of course.
You know what? I thought it was a missed opportunity in Final Fantasy Rebirth. When because the game it has a card game built into it.
Okay.
And it's like, wow, they could have actually had like a physical set if they wanted to. Seems like a missed opportunity to me.
To me it seems so obvious.
Yeah, because again, it's another one of those like useless statue things.
Yes.
You know, so it's like, well, I don't need that.
Yeah, at least the cards are just like it's you can sit there, you can look at them, sift through them, and they're small. You can store them. It's because card collecting is so closely intertwined with game collecting, where it's like, oh man, if you're going to give me collectible cards, cool. I might already have a card collection. I can put them in sleeves. I can not, you know what I mean? I can have a binder of my cards to flip through, and that's freaking awesome. Yeah. And you might actually come back to it.
Yeah,
it is a missed opportunity. Yeah, I agree
for sure.
And that's one of the biggest things with these collector's editions is, yeah, you know, you have your generic posters, stickers, all this stuff. But what really puts them over for me is when you do get the custom stuff from the game, the in-game. That's why at least the Fear one, like I was saying, you get that pregnant woman, whatever. But it's extremely unique.
Yeah.
And at least it is extremely unique. Because some of the best ones here, like even though I hate these statue versions, the Halo 3 Legendary Edition.
Oh, yeah.
You got
I have that.
You got to mention that, man. Like, what do you got that? And you're not even talking about it.
It's open. It's you know what? It's one of those
great.
things I found at a flea market. I found the Master Chief head.
There we go.
I was like, I'm buying that for $20.
Yes.
It's great.
I know people at release were expecting one you could like wear.
Yeah.
Which I mean,
that would be great.
Would have been amazing.
Yeah.
But that's, I think, a little bit too high of expectation at the like $129 price point. Like,
yeah.
You're probably not getting a wearable Master Chief helmet. But either way, it looks freaking fantastic, and it is, like, that's at Halo 3 at that point. It's an established franchise, you know everything, so, like, yeah, give us a piece of the most iconic, like, that imagery, that item is perfect. It's a unique thing, it's not just a statue of Master Chief. Yeah.
With a gun.
That's the issue with the Noble Team statue, it looks great, but it's just Noble Team standing with their guns.
Yeah.
I don't need it.
Yeah.
And going into those big editions too, because there were so many of them. I don't know if you remember the Call of Duty ones, like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Okay, so Modern Warfare 2 gave you night vision goggles in their Ultimate Edition, and they were fully wearable, usable night vision goggles, which is one of the coolest, most unique things that's ever been included in Collector's Edition.
Yeah.
Is it useless? Yes. Is it dumb? Yes. You bet it is. But you are going to take those out, you are going to use them, and you are going to remember it forever.
Yeah.
And I genuinely wanted it when I was younger. I was like, man, I want this edition. I want these goggles.
And did you get it?
No, never did. Never did. But like, it just always, like, even now, right? I'm 15 years after the fact, I still remember, like, they were going to give you night vision goggles. Absolutely. Black Ops 2, you got an RC car with a camera built in. Is it dumb? You bet it is. But again,
is it cool?
It is so unique.
Yeah.
And I heard the RC car is like kind of junk and kind of like, you know, I mean, again, $119, you're only getting so much out of it. But again, like a fully remote control RC car with a camera, like that's just freaking sweet, man. And it fit the collector's edition so well of being like modern tech entering the warfare.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's on point with, you know, the theme of the game. So
and anytime a collector's edition went out of the way, it's like you're talking about with effort and quality. Anytime they went out of the way to include something so unique that isn't just anyone can make a statue. Every statue is going to be nice. Of course they are. It's, you know what I mean? Of course the statue's going to be nice. Why wouldn't it be? It's a statue. You just of course it will be.
Yeah.
But anytime a thing actually made something unique for it, like Fallout 4 Pit-Boy edition.
Yeah.
It's freaking expensive. The Juggernog. Do you remember that? with Fallout. We're talking about all the Fallout collector's editions apparently, but the Juggernog, you got a mini fridge. Like you got a Juggernog mini fridge included.
That's cool.
I think it was like $400 or something, but like I think Call of Duty had one of those too. But again, it's like, wow,
that's cool. Yeah,
kind of cool.
Yeah, if you're gonna spend, that much
Yeah,
money.
I'm already in deep for $200 some. Like,
yeah,
give me something super stupid. Like, let's just ramp it up.
That's right. Yeah, the Pip-Boy edition is super cool.
You get like a functioning,
working Pip-Boy.
A Pip-Boy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's super cool. And it's something they did with the show. Like the brand new Fallout show is they actually made functioning Pip-Boys for the actors.
And it's just
that's really cool. Yeah.
Cool, usable, not just a statue.
Mm-hmm.
And even one that I did buy too, and Catherine's one of my favorite games. Are you familiar with that collector's edition?
Yeah, you know what? I played it when it came out in university.
Oh, great. Yeah, Catherine's fantastic.
Yeah, it's fun.
So you get the collector's edition, comes in a pizza box, and it comes with the shirt that Vincent wears in the games. You also get his heart boxers, and you get a pillowcase with Catherine. Dumb stuff. I don't think you'll ever wear the shirt or the boxers or anything, but like it's very unique.
Yeah.
It's
very on point.
There's a Steins Gate collector's edition, I think, which includes a lab coat. Oh, just like right, like that is extremely unique.
Yeah,
I think that's what I'm looking for at this point with a collector's edition. Not that I still don't really buy them.
Yeah,
but I want something either extremely simplistic for an extra $10 or $20. Give me a steel book, give me an art book, blah blah blah, $20 extra. Cool. Silent Hill remake. If it got an $89.99 version, I'd be all over that, man.
Mm.
All I want is a steel book and a lithograph.
That's right. Or one of those little cells. Didn't Perfect Dark Zero come with a little cell?
Cells were big too, man.
It's so weird.
Every game was getting a limited edition cell. I remember that as well. Yeah, limited edition cell, numbered out of 20,000 or whatever it was. I can't remember how many the Perfect Dark was, but that was another big trend.
Yeah,
was the cells. I think Lost Planet is a cell as well.
Yeah. That sounds familiar. I don't know.
It's something. It's something. It's not going to move the needle for me.
Yeah, I hear that. It's really tough to find like something that you feel is reasonable or justified. It's
even
like, we're collectors. We have enough shelf junk.
That's and maybe as a general gamer, if you aren't, it's so hard because I feel like if you're a gamer, you probably don't care about the collector crap anyway. Yeah. So they are marketing it to people who already have tons of shelf trinkets, and it's just like, man. The industry has calmed down, I think, in the past 5 years here, where only the biggest games now get big collector's editions. I think studios realized, hey, we don't need to make one for a new. Did Callisto Protocol get one? I guess because that was a pretty big release that was coming out. I don't remember if it got a collector's or anything.
I want to say it had some other bigger box, but I'm not positive.
Yeah, I'm just not sure anymore because I know with PS5, like not a lot get them.
Yeah,
it's not nearly as. It's not a thing.
Yeah.
It's like, thank God it's not a thing. It needed to die. But
that's right.
The Mortal Kombat I was going to talk about, sorry, before I forget.
Yeah.
The one that came with bookends, if you remember that one.
Yes, I had those.
Talk about it if you have it. Like,
well, I don't have it anymore. I used to have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's statues, of course.
Yeah.
You get Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
But they are bookends, so they have a small degree of usability.
Yes.
To hold your games in place or to hold books in place.
That's exactly what
you can display them with purpose.
Yeah.
Which makes it a lot more just usable.
Yeah.
Used it for books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I had it on my shelf, and when I moved, my roommate at the time was like, I kind of like those. Can I buy them off you? I'm like, yeah, sure. One less thing to pack. What am I going to do with it?
No, it's absolutely fair.
And actually, you know what? When I think of collector's editions, I'm thinking of movie collector's editions too. One movie that had a really cool collector's edition was the Fellowship of the Ring. It came with
like a DVD box set, you mean?
Yeah.
Like what?
Yes.
Okay.
So it came with the two, the Argonath, the giant statues at the waterfall. They're like massive.
You're about to learn I'm a casual fan of Lord of the Rings and stuff.
Well,
that's what you're about to learn here.
It came with bookends.
The Argo what? Sorry?
It came with the bookends of the Argonath.
Okay.
So useful.
Yeah,
cool.
it is.
The other movies came with like a statue of Gollum and like Minas Tirith and the city, a mini city. I was like, those aren't useful, but the The statue, the bookends are actually, you can do something with them.
I think the fact that we're so high on bookends just tells you how useless almost everything is that comes included.
Yeah.
Because we're both like, oh yeah, bookends. Like,
I can actually use that. Can stack my games together, you know?
It's just funny that sticks out as like a good inclusion.
Yeah.
Because most stuff is just nothing.
Yeah. And actually, speaking of Pizza Box, the Ninja Turtles, the original 3 movies from the early 90s.
Yep.
The Blu-ray special edition came in a pizza box.
That's awesome.
It was super.
Yeah, that's awesome. Custom packaging can go a long way because, like we say, you're not going to use a lot of stuff anyway. So I'm going to display it. And if I'm going to display it, you better make sure that custom packaging is on point for the displayability. The last thing I want to touch on here with the collector's editions is kind of funny. In looking up stuff for this video, I watched a GameSpot video from 11 years ago of just like 2 people sitting down talking about collector's editions. And you had the one guy, you know, who's more the gamer, who is on that side of this is all junk. Like, I don't care. I don't need. They had, funny enough, they had the Alduin statue on the table. They had the RC car from Black Ops. It's 11 years ago, right? They have all the big collector's editions there. But it's one of those funny things where they were even talking about, well, are the collector's editions going to be collectible in the future? Like, should you be purchasing them now? And this was, 2013 of the video. And, you know, they were mixed of, hey, yeah, the collector's editions are going to go up because they are the limited prints and these are what people are going to want in the future. And the other side was, well, no, because they're so freaking big that once Skyrim is out of your life, or once Skyrim is no longer the big game from Elder Scrolls or whatever, who's going to want to pay you $200 for the, at the end of the day, mass-produced, massive collector's edition with an Alduin statue? What do you think? Like, how, like, you've seen how it's played out now. Where are you with collector's editions?
Yeah, that's tough. You know what? I feel like if you're going to gamble on collector's editions, probably best to stick with Nintendo.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, a kid who grew up in the early 2000s was, you know, maybe 8 to 10 years old, played Skyrim for the first time. That kind of market will have its heyday at some point.
Like, you think the Skyrim collector's editions and stuff will come back in vogue?
It's possible. Like, you never know. Like, someone who has grown up in that time, there might be a resurgence and a wave of, you know, people who have disposable income and want to buy games from their childhood.
I genuinely think they're just too big to transact.
Well, that too. That's the problem.
That's, like,
that's mainly the problem, is the logistical issue of it.
Yeah, like just practicality of trying to transact with these massive items.
Yeah, but do I think like they might have some value in the future? Yeah, but I don't think it will be like I wouldn't consider it investable, really.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. Especially like if you bought a lot of those at retail for the $149, I think most people are under on them, which is kind of crazy, you know, 10 years after the fact. A lot of them have not appreciated at all.
Yeah.
A lot of them are worth less than their retail price because they are so freaking expensive when they start. So now you're stuck with these bricks. You know, that's kind of what I call it. Like my big Skyrim, it's a brick. I need to move my bricks around every time I have them sitting behind a door right now in my like parents' bedroom, my childhood room. And they're just like 2 big bricks stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
Like sell them, I mean, is the answer, but like,
yeah,
it's hard.
The shipping cost alone sometimes
I can't ship it.
Doesn't justify.
Can't do it. I think the Halo Reach Legendary sells for like $100 right now. I can't ship that. That's $50 shipping.
Yeah.
Like I'll walk away with $0 after fees.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's just super interesting though. Like from that long ago, people talking about them and already kind of realizing that these are mass-produced crap. There were some in that era that were genuinely, like we talked about the Wizard Edition there of Ni no Kunai, Dead Space Ultra Limited, I think was 1,000 pieces. There were some where they actually made like true limited edition stuff. But the vast majority of it was just like overprinted crap.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's kind of where we are now in 2024.
Yeah. I think if it doesn't have like some kind of story element or some kind of tie-in to the theme of the game, it's like, well, it's just another statue. You know,
I want to hear more opinions. Let me know your guys' thoughts on collector's editions. What's the last one you've bought? What moves the needle for you on a collector's edition? If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to leave a comment. Let us know if you're watching the podcast on the podcast.
Listening to the podcast.
That's why you're the smart guy in the duo here. If you're listening to the podcast, rate and review. It's much appreciated, you guys. Thanks for listening this week, and I'll see you next week.